Morning. Thank you for having me out. I actually don't have my phone with me, so I actually don't know what time it is. So I hope good morning is the right thing to say, or is it good afternoon? Good afternoon. Oh, I got 3 minutes to say good morning. So someone look at your neighbor and say good morning, right? It's still good morning. All right. So I wasn't able to make it last week. I was stuck in Wisconsin. It was really cold up there last week. Very similar to what it was on Thursday. But I got to see family. Got to go to the hills. It was pretty fun. Do some snowboarding. Just way too much Packers gear though, to be comfortable, to feel comfortable. But I actually want to talk about common humanity. And the basic premise behind common humanity is that everyone is a human and we're all very similar. That we all have stuff in common, right? We're all human, and we should all appreciate that fact that we're all human. So I'm going to talk about two studies. There's one study that they did with children, and they gave the children two different sets of shirts. So one group of kids got red shirts, and the other group of kids got blue shirts. And what they did was they told the kids with red shirts that you're better than the kids with blue shirts. And they told the kids with blue shirts that you're better than the kids with red shirts. So they did this in isolation for about a week. And then after a week, the kids, they kept getting into fights, they kept getting into scuffles on the playground, they would separate themselves, and it was a completely artificial experiment. These kids had no idea that they were a part of an experiment, but the kids were just like, I have a red shirt, I'm better than the kids with blue shirts, or I have a blue shirt, I'm better than the kids that, that have red shirts. And that's one way that we, as explained earlier, distortions, right? But that's one way that we love to separate ourselves, like I'm black, you're white, or I live in Chicago, I'm a Bears fan, or you live in Wisconsin and you're a Packers fan for some reason. We find ways to separate ourselves, and this can have very disastrous consequences in our daily life, because a lot of times it leads us to judge people. When we see suffering on the street, we're not able to be a part of that suffering because we can't connect to that person. We've taken away that person's humanity. We don't believe that we're common, so it's easy for you to ignore. So they did a study where people were asked to group different things into different categories. And one of the things that came up is that when people saw pictures of homeless people, they had the same kind of reaction that they had when they saw trash. When people saw photos of homeless people, they had the exact same reaction that they had they saw trash. That's the least common humanity that we can have, right? Like, we can't connect with someone that we see as trash. It's hard for you to extend love to trash, right? You don't care about trash. Right? Trash goes away, right? Out of sight, out of mind. But common humanity is designed to pull us away from that. So let's see. Do I have the right amount of people? If we can get one more person, I would like for everybody to get into groups of threes. Can we get one more person? And feel free to move I always say this about this space. I love this space that these aren't pews, because you guys can move your chairs. Right? You can move your chairs to wherever you want to move it to, so that we can make this activity work. Right? All right. So. All right, I need you guys to take a minute. We're going to take a few deep breaths. So close your eyes so that we get, into the moment, right? Into the now, right? We want to focus on now, right? We're not planning ahead or thinking about the past. We're right here in this group of 3 people right now. So just take 3 deep breaths. Now, I want you guys to think of a time where you felt left out, where you felt outside of a group, where you were dealing with suffering, where you felt oppressed, opposed. Right? And I want you to bring that situation to mind, bring that situation into your heart. Now, one by one, what we're going to do is each person is going to share a story for 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. Actually, can I get a timer?
Sure.
I want to make sure that everybody gets the same amount of time to share. All right. So the goal is for you to share this story with the people in your group. Now, share what you want to share, right? Like there's no competition with who has the most, story of suffering, right? Your story of whatever you want to share is your story, and it's fine, right? So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to share, and then we're going to pause after each person, and then we're going to reflect on that person's story, and then we're going to move on to the next person, right? Got it? Got it? All right? So find the person that you want to start. Who wants to go first? All right. 1, 2, 3, start. So how do you guys feel about this experience? Like, how did it feel to share it in a group? Did it feel good to be able to share a story? Did it feel good to receive a story?
Yes.
Both? Okay. All right. One more thing. So I took this course on compassion at Stanford University, and their school of psychology is really famous. Has anyone ever heard of the Stanford experiment? Right. So what they did was they took a bunch of regular college students, and they gave one group of college students prisoner smogs, and the other group became prison guards. Now, no one was charged with a crime, right? No one did anything wrong, and they all knew that they were a part of this experiment. So they take these fake prison guards and these fake prisoners, and they tell them, all right, so prison guards, you have to jail these prisoners. So they put them in jail, and some of the kids, like, they didn't know what was going on because they ran this experiment for a week. So first day go by, and these kids are just like, okay, I'm a prisoner, and then the guards are just like, I'm a prison guard, and as the days started progressing, the prison guards started to abuse the prisoners. The prisoners started having mental breakdowns, and it got so bad that they had to stop the experiment because the prison guards were assaulting the prisoners. They would strip them naked and have them do crazy stuff just to humiliate them and dehumanize them. And these were all regular people. No one actually had any real experience in this field, but you got these people to behave in this extremely bizarre way. And that is kind of the moral, like the thing to take away is why common humanity is important. Because the moment you start to separate yourself from someone else, the moment you start to say, I am better than this other person, or I am not as good as other people around me, then you put yourself into a prison uniform or a prisoner's uniform, instead of accepting that you're part of this whole collective, that we're all in this together, that we all suffer together, that we all feel happiness together. and then we all feel joy together. So I want to challenge everyone here. Does anyone, who here has a Twitter account? Twitter account, all right. So can you guys do me a favor? Right now, can you get on Twitter and can you volunteer to take the Compassion Challenge? So for Catholics, for the 40 days before Easter, right, Jesus fasted for 40 days, 40 nights. So Catholics, what they do is they give up something for Lent, right? So the 40 days before Easter, they give something up, right? So if you're a chocolate investor, right, now it's not the time to invest in chocolate, right? Because that's usually what people give up. But I want to actually challenge you guys to do something. So instead of giving something up, I want you to spread some positivity in the world. So if you have a compassion bracelet, if you don't have one, you can get one. It's a bracelet to remind you to do something compassionate every day. I want you guys to take a challenge. From now until Easter, do something compassionate every day. Post about it, social accountability, right? Post about it and use the hashtag compassionate so that we can all track each other, right? I don't have my phone with me right now, so I can't even do what I'm asking you guys to do. But post it right now, and I'm gonna post that Thrive, and hopefully all of us here today can take the Compassion Challenge. So from now until Easter, every day, post about something compassionate that you're doing. Whether it's helping someone, whether it's helping yourself, whether it's something at your work that you did above and beyond, just share your stories of compassion. Or if it's just that, you had a conversation with somebody on a bus that nobody wanted to talk to, right? Compassion looks like what you think compassion looks like. And it's extremely subjective. So take the Compassion Challenge. Every day from now until Easter, do something compassionate. Put something good out into the world. And experience common humanity with everybody, right? All right, thank you.